Even though it's very small, you're never going to lose this shiny and very bright SkyRC B6 smart charger in the bowels of your flight bag. And it's no wonder they call it the Neo. A proper 200 watt balance charger that fits in the palm of your hand? Surely that's not possible. Maybe it is. Hello and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. There was definitely a touch of nostalgia when I received this SkyRC B6 Neo charger for review. My first proper charger when I got into RC planes and 3D helis was a SkyRC IMAX B6 charger. And SkyRC have certainly grown over the years, catering to the really high-end market, including enterprise solutions and power electronics. So it's great to see them back with a hobbyist charger like this. It's a 200 watt smart balance charger that will charge all the usual battery chemistries. You can charge up to 6S packs, and it's got a few neat tricks up its sleeve that make it incredibly useful. And it costs under $40 or around £30 in the UK. And it's not black and it's not grey. You can power this from DC on this XT60 input. Anything between 10 and 28 volts is fine. So you could use another battery like this if you wanted to, if you're out in the field, or you can use a DC desktop variable power supply. And if you use a suitable 20 volt 10 amp DC supply, this can deliver 200 watts of charging power. But very cleverly, this can also be powered using this USB-C PD input, which means you can power this from a USB power bank and can provide up to 80 watts of charging power. Now that's not only impressive, it's a great idea and extremely convenient. On the other side here is the main XT60 output and the balance port for anything up to 6S, and there's a little cooling fan on the back that only comes on when it's needed, and when it does it's actually really quiet. Then on the front we've got these 3 buttons and this nice colour LCD display. As well as charging and discharging and storage charging, this is a smart charger, so it will measure the balance state of your cells and measure their internal resistance. And you can even use this as a DC supply if you want. So let's try and charge something. So because it's so convenient, I'm going to use the PD input. This is using my super duper 140 watt USB power bank. So clear that nice little splash screen and the warning and plug something in. So we've got, what's this, 1300 milliamp hour 4S that I pulled out of my battery box. I really don't know what state it's in, so let's see what we've got. Okay, so we press the button. So this is at 16 volts at the moment, so we could do with a bit of a charge. And we can see along the top here it's showing us the current settings. But if you want to change those, we just hit the middle button and we can choose the battery type. So LiPo, lithium ion, high voltage LiPo, nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, lead acid. So all the usual candidates. Then is the can choose the battery cell voltage. It's defaulted that automatically, but you can choose anything up to 6S manually if you want. Task, that simply means what are you going to do with it, so we're going to balance charge, but if you wanted to change between storage and discharge, charges for some of the other battery chemistries, but we're going to choose balance charge. Condition, well that means end condition 4.2 volts, normal for LiPos. We've chosen to charge at 1.3 amps or 1300 milliamp hours, but you can twiddle about with that as you want. Hit start and we're charging. Fantastic. So it shows us the settings we've got, the current voltage on the main port, which is 16.1-ish volts. We're charging 1.3 amps, 21 watts, and it shows us how long we've been charging, which is great. Now, one of the other things that if you're using this to discharge, that they have done quite a neat little trick with is that we'll also discharge through the balance port as well as the main port, which means that you can discharge a little bit quicker than you would do on normal chargers. Now there is a setup screen on here. If you long press the middle button, we get into the system settings, task parameters. There's an overall safety timer, so it will stop charging after that time, even if it's not fully charged, just for safety, plus a whole load of other things. Trickle charge means when it finishes charging, you can choose to trickle charge after that point if you want to. Then we've got system settings, which is all to do with the display, the language, the backlight on the LCD, the volume of the beeps, and so on. DC power. You can use this as a DC power supply. So you plug your input supply in here, and then you can take power out of the main port. And with these two here, you can choose what the voltage and current is. So basically this becomes a variable desktop power supply, which is very neat. Battery meter, that's just showing us the state of charge of each of the cells in here and their internal resistance. And you can return to factory settings as an info page, and you can upgrade. And also when you're charging, those cell voltages and internal resistance are available by scrolling through the pages like this. So all in all, it's just very, very easy to use. Now, I've been using this as my daily charger for a couple of weeks now, and I'm really impressed. It's effortless to use, and you can be up and charging quickly without having to scroll through loads of menus. The display is particularly good, and the subtle use of colours makes it easy to see even when you're out flying on a sunny day. But for me, the standout feature is being able to power this from a USB PD power bank. It's ridiculously convenient because I think we've all got a power bank with us these days. So if you're looking for a great charger in that £30 price bracket that stands out from the rest of the crowd and just works beautifully, this shiny B6 Neo from SkyRC is definitely worth a look. Anyway, do let me know what you think of this in the comments. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.